Guys, today's the day. I gotta take this power steering gear off and rebuild it. So let me show you real quick. This is a 1966 Bronco, and in one of my other videos I showed you what's making that weird noise when I was turning. It really just sounded like it was like fluid leaking past seals or something. Not sure. I mean, that's even 100% the issue, but I have a Tom's Bronco. One of those power steering, the shaft things there, but I got to remove the pitman arm, and I'm going to take this off and rebuild it, and hopefully I can make that noise go away. But yeah, I'm going to powder coat. I'm going to sandblast and powder coat it at the same time. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of seals. So let me show you this package I got here. Alright, so I got this over at Tom's Bronco, and the kit that actually has a actually lay this out on the thing so you can see it better. Sorry, I'm an IT guy, so I have a lot of computer parts laying around everywhere. So this is my workbench out in my garage. And what we got going here? We got. I also bought the that billet, that collar that goes on the actual shaft on the end of the steering shaft. So my Bronco is a 1966, but I have the steering column out of a 1973 because when I originally converted from a C4, I put a 73 column in there with the automatic shifting thing on there, lever. And yeah, this was here's a receipt. I guess I can show you how much this cost. So I can zoom out. There we go. I got going here. So Tom's Bronco parts, and $34 and $20 for this little billet collar thing right there. And yeah, I never liked the original stock one that just seemed like it was a little piece of metal with a bolt on it, so that seems like it'd be pretty cool for $20. Yeah, so I think this is probably one of the only things I haven't done in the Bronco yet. I mean, I've gone through everything. I've redone transmissions, engines, all the front and rear ends, the differentials, brakes. And I think this is the only. I mean, I've already replaced the brake. It's a whole different brake booster setup, but yeah, this is like the only thing that's mechanical that I haven't gone through yet. So yeah, I'm gonna redo the. I mean, I have a puller over there. I don't know if you can see that, but hopefully I can get these bearings out. We'll see. But cool. Yeah, I don't even know for the price. I think they might have accidentally sent me some bearings because I don't think I remember buying the kit with the bearings. So I thought I just got the seal kit, but. Alright, cool. Guess I'm going to get this thing pulled off here. Cleaned up, and hopefully I can get this fixed. I mean, it seems like it's... I mean, that's a lot of seals for a very small place, so it might be kind of complicated, I think. I mean, I've done transmissions before, and I've actually rebuilt power steering gears before, but I guess we'll see. Alright. Letting this thing drain right here. I had to take my air box off the top here. It normally sits right here because I want to be able to pull it up, I guess, because I guess I just want better access. But yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get it down from below because this thing might be in the way. This shock mount here, shock tower thing. So let this thing drain. I think I'm going to drop the pitman arms off. I don't have I have a little pitman puller tool somewhere, and get this thing off. And hopefully it's not too complicated. We'll see. I mean, hopefully I have all the right tools. I think I might probably do. But all right. Got the Tom's Bronco steering shaft there. Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. The double U-joints. So because I got to replace that collar, that's why I took it off. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that we have that Fox shock, but it's right there. Replace that collar. I'll give you a close-up of that when I do that. But let's see here. All right, now I gotta get these 3 bolts off and take that pitman arm off, and should get this thing off here. Yeah, pitman arm puller tool right there, and I think it's actually easier to get off when it's on the actual car, but I guess you could put it in a vise too, but it's easier to just do here. So right. Got this thing off, so I don't really care about getting too much water inside, but I'm going to do a quick degrease so I can get my freaking hands totally dirty. So yeah, use a little of this gunk degreaser. Flip it over and get it, at least I'm not going to get it totally, 100% clean. I just want to get the surface so I'm not getting completely dirty here. So video and kind of loud here, but so I got the power steering on my table here. One of the nice things is I actually have a computer right above it. I don't know if you can see that, and I can actually look at some other guy what he's doing, kind of look at specs and as I'm pulling this thing apart. But all right, I'm gonna take this thing apart and see if I can. I guess I'm gonna take this top thing off here. I'm sure it's called the sector shaft. I think I'm not even sure. Came with some pretty shitty little instructions, but there's better stuff online, so I'm just looking above on the computer at the same time and trying to compare the two. So, alright, so I'm going to take this top thing out here, the 4 bolts here, and this little lock nut here, and pull that sector shaft and just start taking a look at it, kind of getting familiar with the insides of it.
It's KROQ. I'm Megan Holiday. Hope you're enjoying yourself.
So, to get this cap off, I'm just turning this
drivers, like someone
Allen
drifting
this
too
way.
close. When I turn on my blinker, I get a visual and audio alert if someone is too close or in my way. Let's say I'm on the freeway and the car ahead of me brakes or slows down too quickly. My Mercedes-Benz automatically drops my speed on my GLC, so I don't end up in their trunk. All of these features saves me a lot of road rage. Get less peeved and take a Mercedes-Benz GLC for a test drive at one of 22 Mercedes-Benz dealerships in SoCal.
Coca-Cola and food. It's a classic love story.
Yeah, it looks pretty dirty inside. Yeah, it's all like, wow.
Best pairings bring out the best in one another.
Like, I don't know if you can see my fingers, but it's all like gritty in there. There's like gritty grime in there.
Whether it's a slice of freshly baked pizza,
yeah, it's like totally gritty in there.
Burger from the grill.
But I mean, this thing has I mean, I've actually had this truck for 20 years, so I'm sure it was on there for at least 10 years before I even had it, so or more, you know.
Brings out the flavor in every bite. Coke and food. It's a recipe that's certain to satisfy.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
So serve up a delicious meal and an ice-cold Coca-Cola today. And taste the feeling.
Nothing teases your taste buds like an ice-cold Coke paired with a fresh-baked pizza from your neighborhood 7-Eleven. For only $6.99, get a refreshing Coke 2-liter and any large pizza
straight
with
pull it out.
100% mozzarella cheese, sauce
coming
made
right
from
out.
vine-ripened tomatoes, and crispy golden crust. Baked fresh and ready in minutes. Available 24/7, only at 7-Eleven.
Wow, that looks pretty bad inside. I mean, it's pretty gritty. So, all right, we'll see. All right, cool. I clean this up. So, I don't know if you can see the front there. So, yeah, right now I have that shaft. It's actually a little bit worn out where the seals, where the actual seals sit. There's 2 seals in the bottom here. But I'm going to use some like really fine sandpaper to kind of polish those up a little bit. So I'm going to use my little slide hammer. I hope I can get this off here.
It's your friend Stryker here, and this is true. I'm on my 4th Prius, but my new 2016 is by far the best one. The drivability is better than my last 3 Priuses combined. Before you go to the beautiful lot, always go to HammerToyota.com. There's over 1,000 vehicles there, and all 1,000 vehicles are on sale right now during the Hammer Toyota Clearance Countdown. You want selection? Check. You want the best possible price and trading value? Check. And finally, you want to go great?
Yeah, the gear itself actually was perfect. I didn't have any plane in it or nothing, so hoping I can retain those settings, I guess.
When Leonard's feeling anxious, I make him take a long walk.
Does that help?
Yeah, for a while, then he comes back.
New CBS Monday. This is K-Rock Music.
Yeah, I mean, I've never taken this apart, so what you're seeing is what I'm seeing for the first time, you know? Alright. So I'm going to try and keep everything exactly the way it is, so when I put it back together I can see. So it looks like there's a couple seals in there, and front seal in the front there, and some bearings in there, so I'll deal with this section over here, put it over here, and I'm going to try to keep everything in sections. Because I don't even know what all these are called, so. Yeah. Like, if I don't have to take this thing apart, then I'm not going to take it apart, but unless there's some kind of seals in there I have to replace, but my goal is to only replace the seals and clean this up as much as I possibly can. But, I mean, I'll figure it out as I'm going to each section. Just want to keep in order, like, how I pulled it off. So I'm going to make sure I know that this came out like that. You know, so I know exactly what order. Even though I have pictures and diagrams on my computer right above me, I can see what's kind of going on or kind of what to expect, but I'm going to turn this around and get the snap ring off the front. This back thing is kind of a pain in the freaking ass. Trying to figure out, I'm using different pick tools, screwdrivers. It's like a snap ring it's like a round snap ring, but it's like an inner snap ring, but I can't open it up because it would just make it tighter. But there's nothing to grip it to make it freaking open it up. So I'm just trying to figure out how to underneath this thing to pop it open or come together to open it up. Freaking whack design. I don't know. Well, man, this has been hard. I mean, I've been stuck on this for 15 minutes. Well, it's 15 minutes now, so. Alright, I'll figure it out. Alright, guys, that was a total bitch. I mean, seriously, it took me about half an hour, maybe a little bit more. Get off. I had to get this little screwdriver. I had to pound it kind of like underneath it to get. I even bit the little screwdriver, but to get it up to where I could pop it out. But yeah, seriously, I've tried like 50 different tools. You know, picks and all these little dental tool type things. So yeah, finally got it off. Now I think I can get the front stuff out now. So let's see. I mean, I'm kind of worried because I'm starting to see like a little bit of scoring. That's. I'll show you once I get to that point. But alright, I'm gonna get this thing popped out here.
I drove the whole time, but that's okay. I'll just avoid the
get that going. Get our tool here. Let me see if I can get this.
Cursing my government for not using my taxes to fill holes with more cement. You fell asleep in my car. I drove the whole time,
I'll have to fuck with it.
but that's okay. I'll just avoid.
And so you have to kind of get the worm gear out, and I had to kind of pull out, pound it through, just kind of like twigging it, you know. Yeah, this definitely has to come out for that thing to come out. So you take the worm gear out, or at least pull it back, and then I gave it enough room where I could pound it and push through the front here, and it popped off the front cover. And let's see if I can get this thing out here. It's kind of bound up a little bit here.
Hello, it's free.
Well, trying to do this be careful here. Yeah, so look at that. I mean, it's just like, ouch. This might not even be rebuildable because I've seen some major like wear marks, you know, where the seals go. All right, well, I'll get this out. But yeah, dude, serious issues made with this pump. I mean, this is like grit, crazy. See that, but yeah, look at all that freaking grit. Sorry, yeah, my camera's backwards. Yeah, look at that, just grit in there. I mean, I literally feel. I don't know if it's metal or it's sand or what the hell that is. And dude, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some serious like. I'm gonna go out and clean this out again. But yeah, dude, there's some serious like score marks in there. I don't know if they're supposed to be there or not, but I'm gonna clean this off again and get some of these parts cleaned here. All right. Wow. I mean, this might be a. I need a new power steering gear. This is why I think it might be game over for this pump. That's actually where those 3 seals go. And I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, but there's some major freaking scoring in there. Like major scoring. I don't know if that's, like I said, I don't know if that's supposed to be there or not. I'm assuming it's not supposed to be like that. It feels like it's all, yeah, it's all the way around. Yeah, I don't know. That's not good. I mean, that's would be allowing fluid to get past. I mean, if it wasn't a good seal there, you know. Well, I don't know. Yeah, because when I turn the wheel, it feels like there's some kind of fluid getting past some kind of seal. It's like yeah, it feels like it's building pressure, then it loses pressure. All right, so I'm gonna get those bearings out. I already got the seals out right there. Press those bearings out, but this housing might be dust because of that. But it's another shot from it if you can see it. Yeah, look how deep that scoring is. Alright. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see. Let's go there. Alright. So yeah, there's a little, I think we're recording here, yep. So there's this like little, outside seal. There's another seal inside, so I gotta get that off. On the front shaft here, like the, what's it called, the retainer thing here. I'm just going off the instructions here to see what. Alright, so I'm gonna get this off and I'm gonna get through a couple steps here so I can figure it out. So I'm looking at the instructions and I just flip this around, got my screwdriver in there and pound up that one seal right there like that. And there's another seal right here. So when it comes to like the front adjuster retainer thing here, I just have two seals and I have this outer seal. So, and it looks like I'm looking at the instructions and there's no other seals in there, so I'm not going to even bother taking this apart. You know, I'm just going to look at it. You know, nothing looks out of the ordinary. I mean, nothing that's obviously fucked up with it. So, alright, so I'm going to get this front thing fixed, and I'm going to work on this other shaft right here, trying to figure this out. But yeah, I don't know if I guess spend a lot of time powder coating this thing because I don't know, man. I have a feeling this is going to be I mean, because of that scoring in that one area, that this might be a waste of time, but we'll see. This done is just two seals in the front and a seal like right around the edge here. I'm sorry. Seal here, seal there, and then on the edge here. So I'm gonna blow all this out like with my air compressor when I'm done with it. Make sure there's no water in there. And alright, I'm gonna go to the next shaft, which is this. Try to figure it out. Alright. It comes forward, this little shaft comes out of here. I had to hit it with my little little hammer thing there, but there is a seal in there, that's why I had to get this apart. Right there. So just double check everything, make sure everything looks sort of decent. Alright, cool. I can't remember if I showed you that, but there's a piston that comes out of here. But so yeah, it tripped me out at first. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on with the seals, but it was in the diagram. It doesn't really show specifically what it is, but once I got these Teflon seals off, there's a rubber O-ring underneath the Teflon seal, and I think that's to keep it, you know, outside or something. You know, you can put pressure out, you know, outside going this way. But I can already tell putting the new ones. These are my old ones, but putting the new ones are gonna be a pain in the ass. But so I'm gonna get this finished up with the Teflon seals and go to the next step. Alright, got the seals on. This one, I don't know if I stretched out a little bit or what. This one seems a little bit looser than the others. So I'm hoping like once it heats up, because it's sort of like a plastic based material, that it's gonna go back into where it's supposed to be. Plus, you know, in that one, you saw that scoring, so I don't know, this is the area of the section of the whole thing I'm worried about the rebuild in. Because this area, like, I don't know if this spins around here or what the deal is, but there's O-rings that are here to keep these popped out. You know, pushing out, pressing out, like that. So, yeah, I think anywhere this is where it's going to be leaking, if it's going to be leaking somewhere. Alright. Got this thing lined up. There's also, you know, there's this guy on that website right there. I don't know if you can see the screen, but he does a good description of how to get the thing aligned. So it wasn't that bad. Well, I mean, we'll see. Sorry. Yeah, that's ready to go. Next phase. All right, cool. I was recording the whole time. All right, I'm gonna pound these two seals back in. Goes two seals here. You have look, there are two different seals. Doesn't even say which in the instructions, like which is which, but I'm assuming this is the outer seal. This is the inner seal because it has the extra lip on it. You know, this only has one lip on it. This seal only has one lip on it. This seal has two lips on it. So I'm going to pound this one in first, then a washer, then this seal, or no, this seal, washer, then another seal, then a washer, then a snap ring. Alright. Piston here. You kind of got to be careful not to fuck up this Teflon seal. But I think this is the route I'm going to go. I mean, like I said, I'm just kind of looking at this and trying to figure it out on the fly here. Because there's not really good instructions anywhere, so I'm just looking at it and trying to understand the logic of it. So I'm going to put this up here, the bearing holes, up to here. I'm going to get the worm shaft in there, get the bearings in there from the top. I'll show you when I get to that point. But I first need to get past this seal here. So I get that. But Yeah, I just gotta be careful about getting this so I don't fuck up the Teflon seal there. You know, barely, you know, slightly kind of get it in there. Yeah, alright, cool. I'm gonna pound away at it and just be really careful, try to get that seal in there as I go. Alright, cool. I might use a piston ring thing to get that in there, like, you know, like an old piston ring. Because I need to get that Teflon seal in there so I don't mess it up. Cool. Okay, so I have the piston turned kind of sideways so I can get that in there. I don't know if you guys can see it. My light's kind of coming down. There it goes. There, so I can slide the balls in there as I turn the worm gear in there. Alright, cool. Let's see if I can see it. Okay, so I'm going to start dropping the balls in there. I have to show you real quick. I have to... So I just basically slide the worm shaft in there. Like I said, I'm just experimenting with it, so get these damn balls in there. So I'm going to kind of slowly start rotating this shaft around that evenly displaces the bearings in here. Going here. Put them all in and put that cap cover on and start playing with this thing. Cool. Pretty kind of a nightmare. Let me see if I can get a better picture of that. But so I don't know if I can get light on that thing or not. You can see those two little holes right there. So you want to alternate kind of putting the holes in there, but the main thing is there's a little spot on each side in the front and the back, and you don't want the bearings to go back around there because this little thing right here, this little catcher piece right there, right, is supposed to prevent those balls from going back that way and out, and it's supposed to rotate them through this little channel back to the other side. So the main thing is, yeah, that's a nightmare. I've been working on this for like an hour, 2 hours, trying to get this correct, but I think I watched a couple of their videos online. You know, like, so this is actually a Saginaw pump, and it's sort of, I mean, they're nearly identical, just different shapes, and you know, internally they're identical. But so I watched a lot of different videos, watch other guys doing this stuff, and you just gotta freaking play with it, man. You just gotta make sure that no balls get passed back up through that little spot, that little cavity right there. So there's a little, you don't want it to go back the other side because then the bearings will fall out. You know, so they have to be channeled back to that carrier back this way. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's other videos you can watch, but yeah, it has to channel back with this little thing in there, you know. But that thing is a little catcher. It's a ball catcher right there, so it makes the ball go back the other way. So, all right, still working on this, man. It's getting dark too. Yeah, fuck. I guess I'll be working this late. So, yeah, this is actually my only car. That my other truck is too big to get into parking structures. So, I mean, I guess I like to drive the Bronco when I'm around town, and my local gym is under a parking structure, so I have to freaking get down there. If not, then I have to park a long ways away to get to walk to it. But all right, you probably don't give a shit about that. But all right, cool. So I have my little vice grip here, and I'm twisting this, and yeah, this is a total fucking nightmare. So there it goes. The main thing is just the balls. When they make sure they don't go past and fall out the carrier. This thing keeps that little raceway keeps the balls in the carrier from falling out, either the front or the back. So yeah, I guess once you kind of understand the concept, it's not so difficult to figure out the balls. But you just got to understand what the hell what the thing's for, you know, why it's there. Yeah, it took me a while to figure it out. So all right, so you don't want to go too far out because then the worm gear will come out. But so now I can spin this to where I can see the bring this out a little further. So I don't want to go too far. I did that. I actually got it all back together, and I spun it too far out, and the balls came out. So make sure I don't do that again. So I'm going to bring this back, the gear, back into place. And now that's the actual gear that turns the thing there. Turns that little the lever. So I guess I should probably get it centered. I guess I have 1, 2, 3 teeth. So I guess I'll put it in the center. I mean, that makes sense if it's in the center because I mean that would be the center spot, you know, of the left or right, you know. Well, I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm just, it makes sense, I guess. It makes logical sense. All right, so I guess I'll get that shaft back in there and get this back on the car and see what happens. Yeah, it's like I said, if this doesn't actually work, then I'm gonna just get a rebuilt one because, like I said, I don't know if that scoring is supposed to be there, but it's gonna cause some issues probably. But all right, now I can get that end cap back on this side. All right. Yeah, this is actually, I mean, this is not a detailed rebuild of this thing, but it's just, this is Bronco specific. You know, that's what a Bronco one looks like. Whereas, I mean, they look identical to the Saginaw ones, but, all right, that's it. All right, I'll get the thing back together, and I'm still going to put it on tonight, even though in the dark, I'm going to put some lights up when I get this thing going. Cool. Okay, on that snap ring, the end snap ring, I wasted about a half an hour trying to figure it out, but like I said, the instructions sucked. So there's actually a little hole here, and you can use that to get the that ring out of there. So if you're wondering, you don't have to suffer. I suffered for half an hour trying to pry it out of there. So all right, output shaft. If you notice, I tried to sand it a little bit, polish it. You can see that I have a lot of pitting right there, and that's actually after I've already done it. So what I did is, the cool thing is you can adjust this where the seal is at on the output shaft, so I brought it in a little bit further, so I'm hoping I get some virgin metal, the seal, like, you know, where it's not on that pitting right there, at least some virgin metal there, hopefully, and see what I can do there. Let's see. So I'm actually going to use a couple of these old washers that came with my kit. It came with new washers, so I'm going to put those in there and give it some extra support. 2, and then maybe a 3rd in there, and get the snap ring in there. That way it's not, I mean, there's still going to be a little bit of gap. I mean, the pressure might blow it out, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'm just trying to get virgin metal here. At least I'm hoping like somewhere in there. But all right, we'll see. Cool. Back in. I got to put the shaft on. I got the hoses back on, but yeah, I didn't show you put this top cap on because my camera ran out of batteries last night, and I was trying to get as much done as possible. So that's actually, that adjusts the actual play right there, how tight the actual gear is in the that drum that goes back and forth, that piston. And I'm gonna put this little collar on here, and that goes up there on that drive shaft up there. So all right, so let's see. I gotta put the shaft back on and fill this thing up with fluid, and I'm not gonna hook it up yet. I'm gonna go back and forth and test it, you know, before I hook up the wheels back to this thing and get the fluid, you know, at least, you know, bled out. So, all right, let's go. This little bearing cap here. I never really liked this. It just never seemed like it was very sturdy, or at least it wasn't 100% around. Probably doesn't make very much difference on the bearing the way this setup is, but I don't know if you can see that, but that's where it is now. Back in there, you can see that, but it's back there. So, I mean, I don't know, for 20 bucks, it's probably not even necessary, but I thought it was cool. So, yeah, I guess it's not exactly even 100% inside, but I can adjust that. But yeah, now I get the steering shaft back on. And yeah, I just don't have a lot of confidence in this pump after seeing that scoring, but give it a shot. This thing running, a lot of foam in there, you can see that, but I don't have it hooked up yet. I don't have the pitman arm down connected yet. And it's kind of going back and forth. And trying to get trying to bleed this thing and get the air out. Just trying to go back and forth here. Get those bubbles out, kind of get it bled out. Get everything worked in. I mean, I won't really know because I never did this. It never made the noise when it was not, you know, when the wheels were off the ground. It only made it when I was under a load. So, okay, we'll see. Keep on messing with this. Well, the problem seems better, but turns. This is actually where it makes the noise. I don't know if you can hear that. I'll put it. Yeah, that's that noise. I don't know if you can hear that. Fuck, maybe it's a pump, I don't know. Who knows? So that's where you hear that noise. I mean, it could be the pump, I don't know. Or the freaking gear, I don't know. The gear looked pretty bad inside, so I don't know. I don't have any leaks though, so. At least I don't see any leaks anywhere yet, so that's good news. I mean, at least the seals were working correctly. Well, fuck, maybe I'll have to look at the pump. Who knows? I don't know if it's the pump of the gear or what. So, weird, just makes that weird noise. I mean, I do have a hydro boost that's in between it, so fuck, it could be the hydro boost, I don't even know. So it's either going to be the pump, the gear, or the hydro boost, one or the other, I don't know. Well, I guess I'm still troubleshooting, but we'll see. Hopefully it's recording, but yeah, actually the more I let this thing kind of get the air out, you know, there's still like a lot of bubbles in the line, but they're getting better. I don't see obvious leaks in here, and it's not making that noise anymore, and I'm under full load, so yeah, my tires right now, it's no longer making that noise, so guess it's a success, man. I guess, fuck. Yeah, man. Power steering box rebuild. Guess that was it. Yeah, now it's all quiet. You know what I mean? It used to make all that grumbling noise, but it wasn't the pump. It was definitely sounded like it felt like it was coming from the gear because it was coming through the steering wheel. But yeah, you always make more noise on the right hand side, and then one more sound. It's getting better and better. It's you know, pretty, not super easy to turn, but it's easy to turn. You know, 33-inch tires. But well, I'm stoked. Hopefully that lasts, you know. I don't, just guess I'll keep an eye on it. You know, I tightened it for the play. I might have to go back and do that a little bit more. I want to do it for a test drive, but wow, I'm stoked. Cool, let me know if you have any questions.